The Crystal Cave by Mary Stewart, Book 5, The Coming of the Bear, 4. As soon as I came in front of Uther, I saw that Cadel had been right. Here was real trouble. We reached London on the very eve of the crowning. It was late, and the city gates were shut, but it seemed there had been orders about us, and we were hustled through without question, and taken straight to the castle where the king lay. I was scarcely given time to get out of my mud-stained garments before I was led along to his bedchamber, and ushered in. The servants withdrew immediately and left us alone. Uther was ready for the night, in a long bedgown of dark brown velvet edged with fur. His high chair was drawn to a leaping fire of logs, and on a stool beside the chair stood a pair of goblets and a lidded silver flagon with steam curling gently from the spout. I could smell the spiced wine as soon as I entered the room, and my dry throat contracted longingly, but the king made no move to offer it to me. He was sitting by the fire. He was prowling restlessly up and down the room like a caged beast, and after him, pace for pace, his wolfhound followed him. As the door shut behind the servants, he said abruptly, as he had said once before, "You took your time. 4 days, you should have sent better horses." That stopped him in his tracks. He had not expected to be answered, but he said mildly enough, "They were the best in my stables." "You should get winged ones, if you want better speed than we made, my lord, and tougher men. We left 2 of them, by the way." But he was no longer listening. Back in his thoughts, he resumed his restless pacing, and I watched him. He had lost weight and moved quickly and lightly like a starving wolf. His eyes were sunken with lack of sleep, and he had mannerisms I had not seen in him before. He could not keep his hands still. He wrung them together behind him, cracking the finger joints, or fidgeted with the edges of his robe, or with his beard. He flung at me over his shoulder, "I want your help." "So I understand." He turned at that. You know about it." I lifted my shoulders. "Nobody talks of anything else but the king's desire for Gorlois's wife. I understand you have made no attempt to hide it, but it is more than a week now since you sent Olfin to fetch me. In that time, what has happened? Are Gorlois and his wife still here?" "Of course they are still here. They cannot go without my leave." "I see. Has anything yet been said between you and Gorlois?" "No." "But he must know." "It is the same with him as with me. If once the thing comes to words, nothing can stop it. And it is the crowning tomorrow. I cannot speak with him, or with her. No, our God, Merlin. I cannot come near her. She is guarded, like Diane." I frowned. "He has her guarded, then? Surely that's unusual enough to be a public admission that there's something wrong." "I only mean that his servants are all round her, and his men, not only his bodyguard. Many of his fighting troops are still here that were with us in the north. I can only come near her in public, Merlin. They will have told you this." "Yes. Have you managed to get any message to her privately?" "No, she guards herself. All day she is with her women, and her servants keep the doors, and he..." He paused. There was sweat on his face. "He is with her every night." He flung away again with a swish of the velvet robe and paced, soft-footed, the length of the room into the shadows beyond the firelight. Then he turned. He threw out his hands and spoke simply, like a boy. "Merlin, what should I do?" I crossed to the fireplace, picked up the jug, and poured 2 goblets of the spiced wine. I held one out to him. "To begin with, come and sit down. I cannot talk to a whirlwind. Here." He obeyed, sinking back in the big chair with the goblet between his hands. I drank my own, gratefully, and sat down on the other side of the hearth. Uther did not drink. I think he hardly knew what he had between his hands. He stared at the fire through the thinning steam from the goblet. "As soon as he brought her to me, As soon as he brought her in and presented her to me, I knew. Gods, that was the first. I thought it was no more than another passing fever, the kind I've had 1,000 times before, only this time 1,000 times stronger. And been cured of, I said. In a night, a week of nights, a month. I don't know the longest time a woman has ever held you, Uther, but it is a month. But is a month, or even 3, enough to wreck a kingdom for? The look he gave me, blue as a sword flash, was a look from the old Uther I remembered. By Hades, why do you think I sent for you? I could have wrecked my kingdom any time in these past weeks. Had I been so minded, why do you think it has not yet gone fully... Why do you think it has not yet gone beyond folly? Oh, yes, I admit there has been folly, but I tell you, this is a fever, and not the kind I have had before and slaked before. This burns me so that I cannot sleep. How can I rule and fight and deal with men if I cannot sleep? Have you taken a girl to bed? He stared, and then he drank. Are you mad? Forgive me, it was a stupid question. You don't sleep even then? No. He set down the goblet before him and knitted his hands together. It's no use. Nothing is any use. You must bring her to me, Merlin. You have the arts. This is why I sent for you. You are to bring her to me so that no one knows. Make her love me. Bring her here to me while he is asleep. You can do it. Make her love you? By magic? No, Uther. This is something that magic cannot do. You must know that. It is something that every old wife swears she can do. And you have power beyond any man living. You lifted the hanging stones. You lifted the king's stone. What Tremorinus could not. My mathematics are better, that is all. For God's sake, Uther, whatever men say of that, you know how it is done, that there was no magic. You spoke with my brother as he died. Are you going to deny that now? No. Or that you swore to serve me when I needed you? No. I need you now, your power, whatever it is. Dare you tell me that you are not a magician? I am not the kind that can walk through walls, I said, and bring bodies through locked doors. He made a sudden movement, and I saw the feverish brightness of his eyes, not this time with anger, but I thought with pain. I added, but I have not refused to help you. His eyes sparkled. You will help me. Yes, I will help you. I told you when we last met that there would come a time when we must deal together. This is the time. I don't know yet what I must do, but this will be shown to me, and the outcome is with the god. But one thing I can do for you tonight. I can make you sleep. No, be still and listen. If you are to be crowned tomorrow and take Britain into your hands, tonight you will do as I say. I will make you a drink that will let you sleep, and you'll take a girl to your bed as usual. It may be better if there is someone besides your servant who will swear you were in your own chamber. Why? What are you going to do? His voice was strained. I shall try to talk with Igraine. He sat forward, his hands tight on the arms of the chair. Yes, talk to her. Perhaps you can come to where I cannot. Come to her where I cannot. Tell her, a moment. A little while back you told me to make her love you. You want me to invoke any power there is to bring her to you. If you have never spoken to her of your love or seen her except in public, how do you know she would come to you, even if the way were free? Her mind is clear to you, my Lord King? Is her mind clear to you, my Lord King? No, she says nothing. She smiles with her eyes on the ground and says nothing. But I know. It is as if all the other times I played at love were only single notes, put together. They make the song. She is the song. There was silence. Behind him on the dais in the corner of the room was the bed, with the covers drawn back ready. Above it, leaping up the wall, was a great dragon fashioned of red gold. In the firelight it moved, stretching its claws. He said suddenly, When last we talked, there in the middle of the hanging stones, you said you wanted nothing from me. But by all the gods, Merlin, if you help me now, if I get her, and in safety, then you can ask me what you will, I swear it. I shook my head, and he said no more. I think he saw that I was no longer thinking of him, that other forces pressed me, crowding the firelit room. The dragon flamed and shimmered up the dark wall. Its shadow, another In its shadow another moved, merging with it, flame into flame. Something struck at my eyes, pained like a claw. I shut them, and there was silence. When I opened them, again the fire had died, and the wall was dark. I looked across at the king, motionless in his chair, watching me. I said slowly, "I will ask you one thing now." "Yes." "That when I bring you to her in safety, you shall make a child." Whatever he had expected, it was not this. He stared, then suddenly laughed. "Ha! That's with the gods, surely." "Yes, it is with God." He stretched back in his chair as if a weight had been lifted off his shoulders. "If I come to her, Merlin, I promise you that whatever I have the power to do, I shall do. And anything else you bid me. I shall even sleep tonight." I stood up. "Then I shall go and make the draft and send it to you." "And you'll see her?" "I shall see her. Good night." Ulfin was half asleep on his feet outside the door. He blinked at me as I came out. "I'm to go in now?" "In a minute. Come to my chamber first, and I'll give you a drink for him. See he takes it. It's to give him sleep. Tomorrow will be a long day." There was a girl asleep in a corner, wrapped in a blue blanket, on a huddle of pillows. As we passed, I saw the curve of a bare shoulder and a tumble of straight brown hair. She looked very young. I raised my brows at Ulfin, and he nodded, then jerked his head toward the shut door with a look of inquiry. "Yes," I said, "but later. When you take him the drink, leave her sleeping now. You look as if you could do with some sleep yourself, Ulfin. If he sleeps tonight, I might get some." He gave a flicker of a grin at me. "Make it strong, won't you, my lord, and see it tastes good?" "Oh, he'll drink it, never fear." "I wasn't thinking of him," said Ulfin. "I was thinking of me." "Of you? Ah, I see. I mean, you'll have to taste it first." He nodded. "You have to try everything, his meals, even love potions." "Love potions? For him?" He stared open-mouthed, then he laughed. "Oh, you're joking." I smiled. I wanted to see if you could laugh. "Here we are. Wait now, I won't be a minute." Cadel was waiting for me by the fire in my chamber. This was a comfortable room in the curve of a tower wall. Cadel had kept a bright fire burning and a big cauldron of water steaming on the iron dogs. He had got out a woolen bedgown for me and laid it ready across the bed. Over a chest near the window lay a pile of clothes, a shimmer of gold cloth and scarlet and fur. "What's that?" I asked as I sat down to let him draw off my shoes. "The king sent a robe for tomorrow, my lord." Cadel, with an eye on the boy who was pouring the bath, was formal. I noticed the boy's hand shaking a little. The water splashed on the floor. As soon as he had finished, obedient to a jerk of Cadel's head, he scuttled out. "What's the matter with that boy?" "It isn't every night you prepare a bath for a wizard." "For God's sakes, what have you been telling him? Only that you'd turn him into a bat if he didn't serve you well." "Fool! No, a moment, Cadel. Bring me my box. Ulfin's waiting outside. I promised to make up a draft." Cadel obeyed me. "What's the matter? His arm's still bad." "It's not for him, for the king." "Ah!" He made no further comment, but when the thing was done, and Ulfin had gone, and I was stripping for the bath, he asked, "It's as bad as they say?" "Worse." I gave him a brief version of my conversation with the king. He heard me out, frowning. "And what's to do now?" "Find some way to see the lady." "No, not the bedgown, not yet, alas. Get me a clean robe out, something dark." "Surely you can't go to her tonight. It's well past midnight." "I shall not go anywhere. Whoever is coming will come to me." "But Gorlois will be with her." "No more now, Cadel. I want to think. Leave me. Good night." When the door had shut on him, I went across to the chair beside the fire. It was not true that I wanted time to think. All I needed was silence and the fire. Bit by bit, slowly, I emptied my mind, feeling thought spill out of me like sand from a glass. to leave me hollow and light. I waited, my hands slack on the grey robe, open, empty. It was very quiet. Somewhere from a dark corner of the room came the dry tick of old wood settling in the night. The fire flickered. I watched it, but absently, as any man might watch the flames for comfort on a cold night. I did not need to dream. I lay, light as a dead leaf, on the flood that ran that night to meet the sea. Outside the door there was sound suddenly, voices. A quick tap at the panel. Cadle came in, shutting the door behind him. He looked guarded and a little apprehensive. "Gorlois?" I asked. He swallowed, then nodded. "Well, show him in." "He asked if you had been to see the king. I said you'd been here barely a couple of hours, and you had had time to see nobody. Was that right?" I smiled. "You were guided. Let him come in now." Gorlois came in quickly, and I rose to greet him. There was, I thought, as big a change in him as I had seen in Uther. His big frame was bent, and for the first time one saw straight away that he was old. He brushed aside the ceremony of my greeting. "You're not in bed yet. They told me you'd ridden in." "Barely in time for the crowning, but I shall see it after all. Will you sit, my lord?" "Thanks, but no. I came for your help, Merlin, for my wife." The quick eyes peered under the grey brows. "Aye, no one could ever tell what you were thinking, but you've heard, haven't you?" "There was talk," I said carefully. "But then there always was talk about Uther. I have not heard anyone venture a word against your wife." "By God, they'd better not. However, it's not that I've come about tonight. There's nothing you could do about that. Though it's possible you're the only person who could talk some sense into the king. You'll not get near him now till after the crowning. But if you could get him to let us go back to Cornwall without waiting for the end of the feast, would you do that for me?" "If I can. I knew I could count on you. With things the way they are in town just now, it's hard to know who's your friend. Uther's not an easy man to gainsay, but you could do it. And what's more, you dare. You're your father's son, and for my old friend's sake, I said I'd do it. What's the matter? Are you ill?" "It's nothing. I'm weary. We had a hard ride. I'll see the king in the morning early, before he leaves for the crowning." He gave a brief nod of thanks. "That's not the only thing I came to ask you. Would you come and see my wife tonight?" There was a pause of utter stillness, so prolonged that I thought he must notice. Then I said, "If you wish it, yes. But why?" "She's sick, that's why. And I'd have you come and see her if you will. When her woman told her you were here in London, she begged me to send for you. I can tell you I was thankful when I heard you'd come. There's not many men I'd trust just now, and that's God's truth, but I'd trust you." Beside me, a log crumbled and fell into the heart of the fire. The flames shot up, splashing his face with red like blood. "You'll come?" asked the old man. "Of course." I looked away from him. "I'll come immediately." And that is the end of chapter 4.